you
came
excited?
back. Yeah.
Do you think I wasn't gonna come back?
You know, sometimes you argue with me and you tell me when.
Oh, here we go. Love you too.
I love you too.
Chloe went viral for her wild Halloween transformation, but the real story isn't the costume. It's what it says about her and Johnny's future. 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way is my favorite spinoff of 90 Day Fiancé, and I'm so glad we got another season before the 2025 TV schedule closed out. It's consistently the best show that illustrates just how much Americans can struggle when they're taken out of their element, and few this season are struggling in the way Chloe Fabiano has in her short time with Johny Fernandez. Between spying on Johny to make sure he isn't cheating on her, to pressure from her mother to return home and have a more comfortable life, Chloe is under a lot of pressure. Ahead of this episode, we saw a lighter side of the 90 Day cast member via a Halloween photo on Instagram. But now I have major questions about how that photo relates to her relationship. Chloe showed off her Halloween outfit, but that doesn't look like Johnny's house. Halloween is always a great time to check up on the 90 Day Fiancé cast members, as they often love to dress up as popular characters or even other cast members. As a new member of The Other Way cast, Chloe didn't do something so bold, but received a ton of compliments on her pirate costume. Take a look. It's a great Halloween costume, but what I'm more focused on is the home she's in. That certainly doesn't look like the home she was staying in with Johny in Aruba, and I had to wonder if this meant she returned to the United States. After all, her mother leaned on her pretty hard with the reminders that she had a cushier life back home. But would she give up on her relationship with Johny so easily? I should note that a recent video from Johny shows him in Aruba as of a few days ago, and Chloe is nowhere to be found. Is the pirate costume a clue she's still with Johny? While it does seem strange that Chloe and Johny aren't on each other's social media pages, I have to wonder why she'd wear a pirate costume for Halloween if their relationship is over. After all, his whole job is being an entertainer on a pirate ship, and I doubt I'd want to celebrate Halloween wearing something in homage to an ex. Chloe and Johny may not be together anymore, but there are other possibilities that are worth considering. For example, maybe they agreed life in Aruba is not sustainable, and she's moved back home to work on bringing Johny to the United States. We've seen that happen with quite a few couples, though many, including those I can recall off the top of my head, are no longer together. That said, one of the best things about 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way is that the American can often pop between living in the country and traveling back home to visit. I think that given the relationship Chloe has with her mother, it's not out of the question to believe that she'd buy a ticket just to come home and visit and catch up with friends while her season of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way airs on TLC. There are a lot of possibilities of what could be going on here, but I think I'm going to be watching their storyline with a closer eye going forward. When Chloe Fabiano posted a Halloween photo that quickly spread across social media, the internet didn't just admire the costume, it read into it. What looked at first like a playful nod to Halloween quickly became a flashpoint for fans of 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way, sparking theories about Chloe's relationship with Johny Fernandez, her living situation, and what the image might quietly be telling viewers about who's really in charge of the couple's public story. The costume that started it all was straightforward in concept, but heavy in implication. Chloe dressed as a pirate. The outfit itself, layered pieces, a wide belt, a jaunty hat, and a theatrical, swashbuckling vibe, drew compliments for its polish and charm. But online sleuths were quicker to comment on the context than the craftsmanship. The background of Chloe's snap didn't match the home viewers had been shown when the pair were living together in Aruba. Observant fans noted different decor, lighting, and spatial cues, and people started asking whether Chloe was even in Aruba anymore. That question is what turned a seasonal look into a potential relationship clue. The timing was key. Chloe and Johny's storyline has been one of the season's more volatile arcs. Chloe attempting to uproot her life and adjust to life abroad, Johny's job and social circle in Aruba, and pressure from Chloe's family back in the US have all been recurring beats. Within that narrative, the pirate motif isn't random. Johny is commonly associated with pirate-themed work in Aruba. For many viewers, Chloe's pirate costume therefore read less like cosplay and more like commentary, a sign of solidarity, a wink toward Johny, or, in the less romantic interpretation, a way to perform an identity tied to their relationship for the cameras. Social media's reaction followed two broad tracks. The first was the usual praise for a well-executed Halloween look. Comments, likes, and reposts poured in from fans and casual viewers who appreciated the aesthetic. The second, louder thread was speculation. Some users suggested Chloe had flown back to the US and posed the photo at home away from Johny. Others asked whether the costume was an attempt to keep the narrative alive for TLC viewers and streaming audiences. The absence of cross-posts, notably a lack of the couple appearing together on each other's social media pages around that date, fueled suspicion that the relationship might be strained or at least going through a public lull. To understand why that matters, it helps to remember how modern reality TV relationships are both private and performative. Couples like Chloe and Johny are navigating two audiences at once: the people they live with in real life and the millions watching on screens. A costume that ties directly to a partner's job or identity can be read as an intimate nod, "I see you," but it can also be read as branding, a way to make a viral moment, keep a storyline moving, or remind viewers of the hook that connects two cast members. Given the stakes of maintaining relevance in a crowded reality TV landscape, either interpretation is plausible. Adding fuel to the fanfire were clips and sneak peeks from the show that painted a picture of tension rather than harmony. In one exclusive preview, Chloe is shown to engage in behavior that hinted at trust issues, spying on Johny while he was at work. That scene, whether edited from maximum drama or narrowly reflective of a real moment of insecurity, made Chloe's Halloween post look simultaneously like an attempt to levity and, perhaps, an uneasy signal that she's still emotionally invested.
If the costume was meant as an inside joke between the two, viewers watching those snippets wondered whether it was a joke executed through gritted teeth. The broader fan discourse also touched on geography and agency. If Chloe had indeed returned to the US, was it a sign she had given up on life with Johny? Or was it a temporary trip, a visit home for family reasons or content strategy? Fans pointed to a recent video showing Johny in Aruba without Chloe, a detail that some outlets flagged as evidence she might be back stateside. Whether Chloe leaving Aruba is a matter of relationship breakdown, logistics, or production scheduling is up for debate. But online communities interpreted the Halloween photo as more evidence that the couple's storyline is in flux. Beyond logistics, the costume sparked discussion about power dynamics and the optics of identity. Chloe's character on the show has been framed as someone who is trying to adapt, but also who faces outside pressure. A pirate costume, charming, performative, and directly tied to Johny's persona, can be read as Chloe leaning into an identity associated with him. That could be affectionate, suggesting she's embracing her partner's world. It could also be performative, implying she's adopting a role for the cameras or to make the relationship palatable to Johny's social circle. Critics of reality TV production note that cast members often curate their public image to preserve plot lines, and a holiday post can be a low-cost way to keep an arc simmering. Theories about whether Chloe's post was deliberate signaling or just festive fun reveal something central about how audiences now consume celebrity relationships. They are investigators as much as spectators. Reality TV viewers often act like forensic analysts, reading backgrounds, subtle props, and timing for clues. That instinct to treat every public artifact as evidence increases the pressure on reality stars to control narratives. For Chloe and Johny, that means a Halloween costume can't simply be a costume. It becomes a text to be read for meaning. This heightened scrutiny is a double-edged sword for Chloe. On the one hand, viral attention is valuable. It secures social media traction and keeps her in conversations beyond episodic airings. On the other, the same attention narrows her privacy and invites speculation that can become toxic. When audiences begin constructing stories about who left whom, who's withholding affection, or who's in control of the narrative, those narratives can harden into reputations that persist long after the original context is lost. For a newcomer to the show like Chloe, that can be consequential. First impressions on social platforms often stick. What does this say about Johny? The reaction to Chloe's costume indirectly reflected viewers' perceptions of him. For many fans, Johny's association with pirate imagery, whether from his job or branding in Aruba, is a core part of his identity on the show. Chloe's homage could be seen as an endorsement, an attempt to fit in with Johny's world. But the alternative reading, that she donned the outfit back in the US, away from his presence, hinted at distance. Johny appearing alone in recent social content also fed the rumor mill. In short, if Chloe's post was meant to reassure fans that the couple is united, it partly backfired by inviting even more scrutiny into their actual proximity and mutual engagement online. There's also a media-savvy angle to consider. Public relations around reality TV is often a negotiated performance between producers, cast members, and PR teams. A Halloween photo going viral creates free publicity for the series. It's the kind of moment that gets covered on entertainment sites, teased in video rundowns, and reshared by fan accounts, all of which amplify the show's reach. For Chloe, whether the post was spontaneous or encouraged, it accomplished what many cast posts aim to do: make headlines. Sites that cover the show inevitably framed the costume in relation to the couple's storyline, which in turn generated conversation and clicks. That cycle, costume, speculation, coverage, renewed interest in the show, is the engine of modern reality programming. Fans' emotional investment in Chloe and Johny is rooted in an older, persistent reality TV phenomenon. Viewers don't just want to watch relationships, they want to predict their future. That's why a holiday costume becomes a totem. If Chloe's photo is read as a sign of commitment, a playful, symbolic embrace of Johny's world, viewers celebrate. If it's read as evidence she's gone home, fans worry. And if it's read as manufactured, cynicism follows. In many ways, the reaction to the Halloween post says more about audience expectations and the modern appetite for serialized romantic narratives than it does about Chloe's wardrobe choices. So, what can we reliably say? First, Chloe's pirate costume was real, and it went viral, attracting both praise and speculation. Second, the context, the background, the timing, and Johny's separate appearances gave viewers grounds to question whether Chloe was still living in Aruba or back in the US. Third, sneak peek footage and episode teases that show tension in the relationship provided an interpretive frame for many fans, making a festive post look like a statement. Fourth, whether intentional signaling or not, the costume served as a catalyst that refocused attention on the couple's arc and invigorated conversation around the show. What comes next is partly up to Chloe and Johny, and partly up to production. If they want to quiet rumors, joint posts or clearer evidence of their whereabouts would likely settle a lot of talk. If they want to keep viewers guessing, and TV shows benefit from speculation, then ambiguous posts and well-timed appearances preserve the mystery. Either way, the viral costume already did what successful reality TV moments are supposed to do. It made people talk, search for clues, and tune in to see how the story unfolds. For viewers who are invested in authenticity, the episode previews and social media breadcrumbs are reminders that you rarely get the whole story in a single photo. Production choices, editing, and the logistical realities of international filming complicate what you see online. A costume can be a sign of continued affection, a content tactic, or simply a person enjoying Halloween. The smartest takeaway may be to allow for all three possibilities at once. Chloe's pirate coast is both a private expression and a public artifact, and in today's reality TV ecosystem, those two things are inseparable. Bottom line, Chloe's Halloween look was more than a viral outfit. It was a piece of narrative currency. Whether it reveals that Chloe is doubling down on Johny's world, signaling a farewell, or just having fun, depends on where you stand in the court of public interpretation. For now, fans will continue to read backgrounds, rewatch previews, and scan social feeds for confirmation. Until the couple decides to make a definitive statement, a playful pirate costume will keep serving its most valuable function, keeping Khloe and Johny at the center of the conversation. Reporting note: coverage referenced entertainment site analysis, sneak peek clips, and social media posts discussing Khloe's Halloween costume and its possible implications for her relationship with Johny. Sources include Cinema Blend's recent write-up, ET's exclusive preview clips, and social media posts and remix coverage that followed the viral photo. The fallout from Khloe's Halloween post didn't stay confined to Instagram. TikTok creators quickly jumped in, stitching the photo into theory videos, body language breakdowns, and timeline comparisons. One TikToker resurfaced clips of Khloe discussing how hard it was to leave her family and speculated that the costume photo might be step one in quietly transitioning herself back into American life. Others argued the exact opposite, that wearing a pirate costume was a way of proving to Johny's friends and coworkers that she wasn't just passing through, but willing to embrace Aruba permanently. The conversation showed just how polarized the fan base has become. On one side are viewers who want Khloe and Johny to succeed, people who see the costume as a sweet inside joke and a sign that, despite the arguments shown on screen, the relationship is still intact. On the other side are viewers who believe the couple never found real footing and that Khloe posting alone, in what looks like a totally different home, is silent confirmation of trouble. The most fascinating part is that Khloe has said nothing. Not a clarification, not a caption hinting at where she is, and not a denial of rumors. In an era where reality stars are often quick to correct the record, her silence only amplified the intrigue. Even the most positive comments eventually drifted into speculation. If everything is fine, why no picture with Johny? Why no stories together? Why hasn't Johny liked the post? This silence is either incredibly unlucky timing or incredibly smart PR. Many viewers forget that filming schedules and real-life timelines rarely match. Khloe and Johny could be filming off-camera, visiting families, or simply taking a break from social media. But reality TV has changed audience expectations. Fans expect constant proof, constant reassurance that what they see on TV is real and current. A single photo is no longer just a photo, it's evidence, and evidence demands interpretation. Some viewers suggested Khloe might be using the viral moment as leverage. Public attention increases her influence. If she and Johny are struggling, going viral on her own gives her visibility independent of him. If they are still together, a little mystery keeps viewers engaged, which benefits both of them. What makes this Halloween costume especially powerful is that it plays into their story without saying a single word. Khloe didn't have to shade Johny. She didn't have to complain about Aruba. She didn't have to confirm anything. Just dressing up in a costume tied directly to Johny's identity was enough to restart the conversation. And the internet noticed everything, even details that had nothing to do with the costume. Users zoomed into the room behind her, spotting what looked like different furniture, different wall colors, different windows. Some recognized American-style outlets. Others compared it to screenshots of Khloe's mother's house, trying to pinpoint a match. It turned into digital detective work. Was Khloe back home for good? Was she visiting temporarily? Was this photo even recent? Or was it just a well-timed post? Theories piled up, and because Khloe didn't address any of them, each one gained its own momentum. Meanwhile, Johny stayed quiet too. No reposts of the costume, no comments, no stories. Back on TikTok and Instagram, people noticed he had only been seen with friends and coworkers lately. That added a new layer of speculation. Were they taking a break or just living separate parts of their lives for now? Some viewers defended him, pointing out that not every couple behaves like influencers. Others argued that silence is rarely a good sign in the world of public reality TV relationships. Then came the most surprising shift. Even fans who loved the costume started asking a bigger question. Why did this post feel so pointed? Because this wasn't just any costume. Johny's pirate identity is a core part of how the show presents him. His job, his friendships, and even Khloe's early impressions of him were tied to that theme. By choosing that look, Khloe aligned herself directly with Johny's image, but without Johny present. Was she saying, "I still want this"? Or was she saying, "I'll keep the branding even if the relationship is fading"? Some fans even wondered if TLC encouraged the post. With mid-season episodes airing and preview clips showing more conflict between the pair, a viral costume draws attention right when producers want it.
And whether planned or not, it worked. Chloe's post brought the couple back into the center of 90-Day Fiancé conversations, not because of a breakup, not because of a scandal, but because of one costume photo that offered 1,000 possible interpretations. If the goal was attention, mission accomplished. If the goal was secrecy, it failed spectacularly. If the goal was emotional expression, fans are still debating what emotion it was supposed to show. Where things go from here depends not on the costume, but on what Chloe and Johny do next. A photo together would silence the breakup rumors instantly. A cryptic quote post would make everything worse. A TikTok of them laughing would reset the narrative. But if both remain quiet, the mystery grows. And in reality TV, mystery sells. What's certain is that Chloe's wild Halloween costume did far more than go viral. It exposed how deeply fans are invested in her story, how quickly audiences hunt for clues, and how a single image can become a cultural Rorschach test. Everyone sees something different. Whether it reveals devotion, heartbreak, strategy, or nothing at all, the pirate costume has done something no dramatic fight or emotional confession could do. It turned Chloe into a character the audience is now watching very closely.